Coming up today on This Is True Really News.
No more stories about body parts.
No, but they're quotes.
Oh, hang on.
I've got some quotes.
Good.
You have to figure out who said it.
I can do that.
Okay. So, if you love this
Oscar
kind of
Mayer.
entertainment, and I know you, no, not yet.
Oh,
I'll tell you when to go.
okay.
Please like, subscribe, and follow This Is True Really News, because that really helps us, and especially the
Bill
likes
Hartman.
right now are. I didn't say go yet.
Sorry.
It's okay. And if you'd like to send us an admonishment,
Jessica Rabbit?
Sorry. I've just never looked upon her as an admonishment.
No, but I expect some of those moody people would probably send her admonishments. Because she was drawn that way.
Yeah, she was. If you want to send us an admonishment in long form, send it to TITR@netradio.network, along with any other quips, missives, or stories you'd like us to cover.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true,
Really?
as far as you know.
You gonna go?
Oh, can I now?
Yeah, it's time to go.
Leave?
No. What heads do vex me?
Pinecrest, Florida has a peculiar problem. Peacocks.
Right? The
Why do I
Pinecrest
want
Peacocks.
Why do I want NBC to be covering this and not the New York Times?
Exactly.
The New York Times reported that the city, just like last August, had been overrun with the large, loud, and destructive birds with peck at roofs and cars and relieving themselves all over driveways.
Well, you can see why
this was written by the New York Times.
I was going to say, you can see why the Times had it, because their
The
writing
New York
is.
Times reported that the city has been overrun with the large, loud, destructive birds, which peck at roofs and cars and relieve themselves all over highways. See, with a little editing, I can make this work. The solution. Wait a minute, hang on. The solution? Peacock vasectomies. This would be a case of plot, snip, snip.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Dr. Don J. Harris, the veterinarian who will do the snip, snip, said they're bona fide polygamists. They're birds, dude. No one cares.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
We're going to catch one and probably stop 7 females from reproducing. Oh, dude, you really want female peacocks mad at you? It's going to have an exponential benefit. County commissioners approved the plan. City officials designated $7,500 a month to cover the trapping and snipping.
Wow.
Reminds me of when St. Cloud had a problem with pigeons. They allowed people to, they gave out like 100 permits to hunt them.
Yep.
I thought, why not just use birth control? I mean, Papa Smurf's available. You can tiny little condoms.
Here you go.
I actually used the station owner's son who happened to be there. Said, "Hey, RJ, can you do this for me? Just say Papa Smurf, Papa Smurf."
Okay.
So he did. And then I did it the bit at the next break. Unfortunately, he was in the car with his dad as they were heading off to school.
Papa Smurf.
RJ did not suffer any, shall we say, unnatural phobias from this.
No.
Married, got some sweet kids.
Wonderful. Did you get a talking to?
Uh-huh.
Was it loud or was it calm?
It was pretty loud. It was louder than Ron's used to. So there is a bench now that is a memorial for him at one of the golf courses I golf at. And
yep.
Whenever I go by that bench,
He yells at you some more?
somebody's yelling at me in the back of my head. I just look at the bench and say, yeah, you drove Daddy's caddy a lot. So
Yeah, shut up. Okay, here's your first quote. Guess who it is? There's no pleasure in having nothing to do. The fun is having lots to do and not doing it.
Me?
Well, somewhat older than you.
Aristotle.
No. It's an American person. These are all American persons.
Aristotle Smith.
I didn't say Mormon.
Oh, That does sound Mormon, doesn't it? Come on. I only get 2 guesses. Who is it?
All right, Andrew Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me a little. I like it.
Honest. Go ahead.
I have now, his esteem has gone up. Not a lot,
Way
but a
up.
little.
I like this guy. Honestly, if I were two-faced, would I be showing you this one?
Harvey Dent.
No, these are all real people.
Harvey Dent was a real people if you're, in a Batman comic,
That's true.
movie, TV show. Real people. Mae West.
Yes, except it was pronounced Abraham Lincoln.
So they're president's quotes.
Did I say that?
No.
I will not make age an issue of this campaign. I'm not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Ronald Reagan.
Moving on. Next president. No, being president is like running a cemetery. You've got a lot of people under you and nobody's listening.
Oh my, okay, Clinton wasn't smart enough. Carter couldn't put together a sentence. Eisenhower.
Bill Clinton.
I was wrong and I was right. Dang.
Exactly. And
Bill,
finally,
there's a reason nobody was listening.
not finally, I've got 2 more. I've got 2 more.
Yeah.
No matter how tough it gets, however, I have no intention of becoming a lame duck president. Unless, of course, Cheney accidentally shoots me in the leg.
No.
Yeah.
Not W.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a sense of humor. I'll give him that.
I've always loved that about him.
Yep.
And finally,
Thank God.
if one morning I walked on top of the water across the Potomac River, the headline that afternoon would be, President Can't Swim.
Trump.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Wow, a Democrat. That's right, because even he got picked on back in the 60s, even though he was a Democrat.
Oh, he got picked on unmercifully.
A lot.
Yes, he did. A lot.
Just watch Forrest Gump if you don't believe me.
It's true.
64-year-old. Those were presidential quotes, you bozo.
What? Yeah, but I didn't say that. I mean, well, I did say I didn't say that, but I didn't say that specifically. And I allowed you to think that maybe or maybe not they might be or not. That is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that perfectly clear, young man?
64-year-old Peggy Jones of Silsbee, Texas, which was founded by the Arkansas Silsbees.
Something dwarfs.
Peggy Jones lives in a place in Texas that got weird letters put together for a name. Got a little too close to nature for comfort. But last summer, as she and her husband did yard work on their very own property. According to the New York Times, this could be intriguing. Hang on.
At least well written.
Yeah. The New York Times reported that out of the blue, a snake fell from the sky. That would actually be correct. Very good. And wrapped itself around Jones' forearms and started to squeeze.
Eep.
I immediately, said she, screamed and started swinging my arm to shake the snake off. I was screaming, Jesus, help me, please. I'd scream other things, but that's not bad.
Help me, Jeebus.
But that would be Homer Simpson.
Oh,
but the snake hissed and struck at her face, sometimes hitting her glasses.
Okay.
And as Jones struggled, a hawk swooped down and tried to grab the snake, which it had dropped.
Oops.
Oh, please, Lord, let there be video.
Old butter claws.
As it wrestled with the snake, its talons slashed into Jones' arm. Because, let's be honest, hawks who are now angry, they've dropped dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And are trying to get it back. They're not particular how they get it back.
Correct.
They're not precise. The hawk finally got hold of the snake and flew off. Why do I have a cartoon picture of her going off under the... Anyway.
Exactly being taken.
The incident probably all took 15 to 20 seconds. right? Snake lands, starts to squeeze, snaps at her face. Hawk shows up in the blink of an eye. Afterward, I looked down on my arm. It was totally covered in blood.
Yeah.
Her husband, Wendell, saw his wife screaming and running in a zigzag pattern because you don't want to be shot while you've got a snake in your arm.
Well, not only that, you don't want the alligator to catch you.
See, I'm thinking the trouble you have is you got the snake and you're off balance.
Yep.
Zigzag. Time I got to her, she was pretty hysterical, he said. Yeah, dude. Doctor said most of her wounds were caused by the hawk, not the snake.
Apparently, yep.
Jones says that she is healing fine, but is still having nightmares about the incident. Yeah, sweetheart.
Yep.
I don't know how to say this politely, but those may stick around for a while.
Yeah, you may just make your peace with them. It's going to happen.
You know, if you can get a cartoon rabbit in there somewhere, maybe Porky Pig to say that's all, folks, that would be great.
Speaking of things chomping on other things.
Chomp, chomp, chew, chew. Though this is, I don't know.
A food delivery driver who bit off a customer's thumb has pleaded guilty to causing grievous bodily harm. Jennifer Roca, 35, attacked the customer near his home.
A girl?
Yes, Jennifer.
Well, so it's not Hannibal the cannibal.
It was, it's Jennifer the cannibal, and that's for somehow
weirder.
It's almost poetic. Hi, I'm Jennifer the cannibal. Pass the salt.
What's your name? Cannibal. Jennifer Cannibal.
Anyway, she attacked the customer near his home.
What do you do for a living? Give me your thumb.
In Aldershot, in Hampshire. She was not employed by Deliveroo, but had been working as a substitute rider using someone else's Deliveroo.
Are these the people who are riding the pouches of kangaroos and deliver things?
No, that would be in Australia.
It'd be way cooler.
This is in UK.
Oh.
She'd been working as a substitute rider using someone else's account. Deliveroo said it was an awful incident, adding it had ended the rider's account for doing something so stupid. Stephen Jenkinson, 36, had ordered a pizza from the food delivery app, but Roca arrived at the wrong location down the street from Mr. Jenkinson's house. When he went to get his food, he forgot his phone and a brief argument ensued about the delivery code number he needed to provide. Mr. Jenkinson said he was then attacked. He raised his hand to Roca's motorcycle helmet and she bit his thumb. All I remember was shaking her helmet, trying to get her off, he told the BBC. She eventually let go, at which point Mr. Jenkinson lifted up his arm and sprayed her with blood. Mr. Jenkinson's thumb was severed just above the knuckle. The force with which she must have been biting, she'd clean taken it off, he said, adding it was as if he had gone through a chainsaw.
No, chainsaw would have been quicker. Less painful.
Wonder if she grinds her teeth at night.
Not anymore.
Deliveroo said its riders were covered by the company's own free insurance, but because Roca was working as a substitute for another driver, Deliveroo cannot be held legally responsible. Solicitors representing Mr. Jenkinson said the woman's insurance policy did not cover injury caused by a criminal act. At the moment, I'm getting nothing from Deliveroo.
We call that bupkis here in the U.S.
He's a plumber by training. He's been unable to work since the attack. After months of reconstructive surgery, part of his big toe was grafted onto the stump of his missing thumb. Ooh.
Now he walks funny and shakes hands weirdly.
Exactly. And now his hand smells like feet.
Oh. So can he still toe the line, or does he have to use his hand?
Yeah, I'm thinking. And how does he go about stubbing his toe now?
And hitchhiking must look weird.
That's right. I don't know what they're asking for.
Why that guy got his foot up? What's he brings on a whole new meaning.
That's so does Hansi, for that matter.
Yeah, it's point.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.